Weh, resort dah keluar tu.
Aku
Asal resort kau okey tak?
terus bro. Pointer aku jatuh bro.
Aku tak teruk kat tu macam ni. Aku asyik lupa je tu macam ni tu. Tak ingat.
Lama tu. Aku macam tu kat tu. Every time aku nak tulis kan. Aku cakap apa yang aku belajar kan? Macam
Aku pun dah malam tu aku dah baca semua lah. Masa exam aku dah lupa saya.
tu apa yang kita boleh buat untuk boost memory kita?
Apa kan?
Apa kan? Saya boleh tolong korang hari ni.
Oi.
Terus korang boleh tengok ni.
Hi, now I'm going to tell you guys one of the ways to improve memory, which is by active recalling. So what is active recall? Active recall is a powerful learning technique where you actively stimulate your memory during the learning process. This method enhances long-term retention by forcing your brain to retrieve information from memory. So what's the benefit of using active recall? First, it improves memory retention. When you actively recall information, it helps to lock that knowledge into your long-term memory. Second, it enhances your understanding. By trying to recall information, you are more likely to make connections between concepts and deepen your comprehensions. Third, it helps identify knowledge gaps. When you struggle to recall something, it highlights areas where you need to focus more attention. Finally, active recall boosts learning efficiency. By regularly testing your memory, you can learn more effectively and make better use of your study time. That's all from me. Now I'm going to pass to the next person.
Moving on to the next slide, I'm going to explain on how to do active recall. These are the top 3 methods that students prefer to use to improve their memory. First one is by using flashcards. Basically, all you have to do is write questions on a piece of paper and jot down the correct answers on the back of the question paper. You can revise it anytime and anywhere, since normally people would do the flashcards in a small size. Second is the Feynman technique, which means you have to explain what you want to remember in such simpler terms, even if the subject is complex. For example, you act like you are explaining something to a 6-year-old child. It helps you to understand and memorize more. Last one is blurting. Write anything you can recall without referring to any module, especially key points, and add up more additional info after that. And as you guys can see from the sticky notes there, any informations that are recalled many times will be stored in a long-term memory storage.
Hi, I'll be explaining about mnemonic devices. A mnemonic device is a memory technique that aids information, retention, or retrieval in the human memory. Mnemonic devices make it easier to remember things by turning complex information into simple, memorable cues like acronyms or rhymes. They help you recall details quickly and reduce the effort needed to learn new materials. We have 5 examples: imagery mnemonics, acronyms and acoustics, rhymes, chunking and organizing, and models. So, by now, I bet everyone is wondering, how do we use mnemonic devices? So I'll be giving 4 examples of how we will use mnemonic devices. We will start off with acronyms. In acronyms, you have to create a word where each letter stands for something you need to remember. For instance, PEMDAS, PEMDAS, which stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. It is the order of operations in math. Next, we have visualization mnemonics. Visualization mnemonics makes you have to create a mental image that helps you recall the information. For example, to remember a list of grocery items, visualize a scene where the items are interacting with each other. For example, apples and bread is having a conversation. This helps you remember easier. Next, we have rhymes. Rhymes, you have to use a catchy rhyme or tune to remember an information. For example, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. It stands for the year Christopher Columbus sailed to America. And last but not least, we have chunking and organizing. In chunking and organizing, you will have to break information into smaller, more manageable parts. For example, if you want to memorize a phone number, it will be easier for you to separate it into 3 parts: 1, 2, and 3. Let's give a phone number example. So you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9 into 3 different parts. It will make you easier to remember than memorizing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all at once. That's all from me. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person.
Now, let's take a look at mental exercises which can help with improving your cognitive functions such as memory, attention, problem solving, and overall brain health. There are many examples of this and I'll be explaining a few of them. The first one is memory card game. It's where you flip over 2 cards at a time to find matching pairs. This classic game helps with visual memory and concentration. Secondly, we have sequence. In this game, players must remember and replicate a growing sequence of colors and patterns. It's great for improving short-term memory. The third on the list is memory match apps. There are many mobile apps that offer the digital versions of memory games with various themes and difficulty levels. Next, we have Simon Says. This is one of the classics which requires you to follow the sequence of lights and sounds generated by the game. They get progressively longer and more complex. This to train your auditory and visual memory. Last but not least, we have the storytelling challenge where you create a story with others, with each person adding a sentence. Remembering and recounting the entire story helps with recall and memory. Now, all of these activities might seem simple, but they are fun and most definitely effective in improving your memory.
Here's an overview of the visualization techniques that are mentioned in the slides. First, mind mapping. Mind mapping is useful for brainstorming, planning, and organizing thoughts in a non-linear way. Second, visualization with symbols and colors. These are commonly used in maps, dashboards, and user interfaces to convey meaning quickly. Third, interactive simulations. These are widely used in education, science, and engineering to demonstrate principles, run experiments, or stimulate scenarios. Dual coding theory. Dual coding theory are applied in education, instructional design, and communication strategies to improve comprehension and retention. Flowcharts. Flowcharts are ideal for process documentation, problem solving, and decision-making scenarios. Infographics. Infographics are effective for marketing, education, and communication where conveying key information quickly and engagingly is crucial. How to apply those techniques in an opening manner. Mind mapping. Mind mapping needs you to create a diagram that represents ideas and concepts branching out from a central idea. Visualization with symbols and colors. This technique uses the same symbol for the same concept throughout your notes or visualization to build a consistent mental association. Interactive simulations using software or apps that provide interactive visualizations of concepts. Next, dual coding theory. Dual coding theory pairs of visual elements with verbal information, for instance, creating diagrams, charts, or drawing images to represent the information. Flowcharts. Flowcharts is a visual representation of process or a sequence of steps using various symbols to denote different types of actions or decisions. Lastly, infographics. Infographics is a visual representation of information, data, or knowledge designed to represent complex information quickly and clearly.
Now I'm going to talk about elaborative encoding. Elaborative encoding is a memorization technique that involves making information more meaningful to enhance retention. It works by linking new information to existing knowledge or creating vivid association. This technique leverages the depth of processing, meaning the more deeply you think about and relate to the material, the better you remember it. So, what is the types of elaborative encoding? Well, first of all, we have the PAO or person, action, object. This method involves assigning a person, action, or object to each item you want to remember, and then creating a story with this element. Second, we have the method of Loci. This method of Loci is a memory technique where you visualize familiar places and associate them with the things you want to remember. Third, we have the link system. Memory linking or the link method is a technique for enhancing recall by forming association between items. And lastly, the fourth, we have the packed word method. The packed word system is a memory technique that helps you remember information by linking it with easy to recall numbers or words.
Okay, tu je. Okay, faham tak?
Faham. Thank you doh. Next time ni aku akan better lagi lah result aku. Dengan negeri-negeri.